If a woman is stressed, holding the space for her means hearing what she has to say and providing a particular kind of loving support. And I write about this in Men Are From Mars, and it's in Beyond Mars and Venus, but you need more techniques in Beyond Mars and Venus. Because you see, once women are on their independent side, they tend to always see what's wrong with you, which means they don't trust you, which makes it even harder to go to their female side and share emotions in a more positive way. Vulnerability is scary for them.
Dr. John Gray, welcome back to the podcast. It's been 5 years. So much has changed. Thank you for your presence. Thanks for being on the show.
Happy to be on the show, Josh.
I remember it's interesting. I was reflecting in research for this conversation. You were one of the very first really big names we had on the show, and we didn't have much of a following then. So thank you for your generosity. And also, I don't know if you remember this, after we recorded, you gave me some specific advice, which you didn't have to do, about my mom and her bipolar state. So you're an incredible man. It's a joy to have you back on the show. So much has changed. You've now written Beyond Mars, Venus. Most people know you as the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. But this talk about relationships and wellness, I've had a son. He's 6 months old. He's wonderful. I'm in a loving relationship, but we have our challenges. So today, let's dive in. Let's get right to it. People know you as an expert in this topic, yet people don't know that you spent 9 years celibate at one point in your life with the Maharishi as a monk.
I was Maharishi's personal assistant, taught his teacher training programs, helped develop them. Then went on to spend years of isolation and meditation, where I used to meditate 16, 18 hours a day. Now I'm semi-retired only because my wife has passed. And so she's not out there pushing me to work hard. So I have more time for myself. And so I'm back to being a monk and in a relationship and helping the world and all those things. So I meditate probably 4 to 6 hours a day.
When you do these longer meditations, you were sharing this with me, and I want to use this as a jumping off point for the stillness that we all have inside of ourselves. Whenever I'm in a conflict with my partner, I tend to go out of my center. I lose my center. Yet, John, when I'm doing my breath work, when I'm meditating on a regular basis, I find that goes into my relationship, into my day, and into my business. Now, most people listening might be like, duh, of course, when you're doing your practices, everything's healthy. But you have a specific meditation you're telling me about, 3 to 5 hours, where you're not breathing at all, which kind of tripped me out.
I'm not telling other people to do that. You can't just do that. It'd be like, I'm like a Michael Jordan when it comes to meditation. I go into a breathless state of just a tiny bit of air going up into the top of my nostril to my brain. The rest of the body goes into a state of blissful suspension. And I'm one with the ocean of the universe. It's very pleasant. It's very blissful. It's very happy. And if something's really stressing me in my life, then I have to process those emotions to get back to that place. So it's not like I'm in this fake blissful place all the time. Okay. So I'm in the world. I've got challenges. I've got lawsuits. I've got kids. I've got relationships. I do it all. But the advantage of having been a monk for 9 years before that is I have the ability, when anything triggers me, to take some time away where I do my process of my emotions, which then elevates my consciousness back to love, back to enthusiasm, back to happiness. So that's all self-generated within myself. Now, getting involved, marrying my lovely wife, Bonnie, we were married for 34 years, and she's passed on 3 years ago. And I went through the whole, I don't want to live anymore and grieving. I did all that. I write books on grieving, so I know how to get through it. I'm in a lovely relationship now. But and rarely triggered, okay, because it's the beginning of a relationship. In the beginning of relationships, you don't get so triggered, but you get triggered. And what I mean by triggered, some people use the phrase, push your buttons. I have a definition of it.